Hey there, GoBear here. In today's tutorial, we're going to walk you through the process of setting up a local development environment for PHP and MySQL on your Mac. Having a local development environment is crucial for testing your code before deploying it into production. To create our local development environment, we're going to be using the following tools. Homebrew, a package manager for macOS that simplifies the installation and management of software. Mariadb, a widely used open-source database management system. Mariadb serves as an excellent drop-in replacement for MySQL. SQL Ace, a powerful tool that streamlines the management of MySQL and Mariadb databases. VS Code, an ideal code editor for PHP development with a wide range of features. The Terminal, a built-in command line interface for macOS. Terminal provides a convenient way to execute commands, manage files, and interact with your development environment. To get started, let's first download Homebrew. Open up your favorite web browser. Type in Homebrew and hit enter. The first result should be the Homebrew website. Click on it. On the Homebrew website, you'll see the installation command in a box at the top of the page. Copy that command by highlighting it and pressing Command-C or by clicking on the clipboard icon. Open the Terminal app on your Mac. You can find it in the Launchpad or by searching for Terminal using Spotlight. Before we paste the installation command in the Terminal window, type xcode-select --install and hit enter. Since Homebrew relies on this dependency, we want to make sure it's installed on our system before moving forward. If you see an error, command line tools already installed, then we know it's already installed. If we don't get this message, the dependency will install. Okay, now that we verified that dependency, let's paste the installation command in for Homebrew. Press enter to run the command. If prompted, enter your Mac's user password to allow the installation to continue. Wait for the download to complete. When the download is completed, you will likely need to add Homebrew to your path. Run the command shown under Next Steps to add it. Once Homebrew is installed, you can confirm a successful install by typing the command brew and hitting enter. This should display text providing context on how to use Homebrew. Now that we have Homebrew installed, let's move on to installing MySQL and PHP. Let's start with PHP. Type brew, install, PHP, and hit enter. Wait for the download to be completed. Once the installation is complete, you can verify that PHP is installed correctly by running the following command, php-v. This will display the version of PHP that you have installed. In our case, I have version 8.2.5. Next up, we have MySQL. You can use Homebrew to install MySQL, or you can choose to install Mariadb instead. Before you decide, let's talk about the advantages of using Mariadb over MySQL. Mariadb is a community-developed fork of MySQL that is designed to be a drop-in replacement for MySQL. It offers several advantages over MySQL, including improved performance, scalability, and security. One of the key advantages of Mariadb is its improved performance. It includes several enhancements to the query optimizer, which can result in faster query execution times. Mariadb also supports several new storage engines that provide better performance and scalability for large databases. Another advantage is it includes several new security features, such as improved password management and support for encryption at rest. These features help to protect your data from unauthorized access and ensure that your database is secure. Alright, so let's take a moment to absorb that info. Give yourself some time to stretch, maybe grab a drink. Some honey with tea. Just what the bear ordered.
Into the mouth. Nice.
Remember, taking breaks is important to avoid feeling grizzly. If you're enjoying this tutorial so far, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. That way you can stay on top of all the latest programming videos, and don't go into hibernation mode on me. Okay, So to simplify my previous explanation, MariaDB and MySQL does the same thing. It installs the same way, we just have some additional performance improvements if we choose MariaDB. So I'm going to go ahead and install MariaDB. To do this, we're going to type brew install MariaDB. You may receive a warning asking if you want MariaDB to accept incoming network connections. If we would want to allow another computer to access our database service, we would want to hit allow here. By default, MariaDB is only going to allow local connections anyway, even if we hit yes here. After the installation, you can start the MariaDB server by running brew services start MariaDB. Nice, we have MariaDB installed, but let's configure and secure it. This step isn't necessary for local development, but it's good practice to get in the habit of securing your database services. The last thing you want to do is forget about this step in production. You may need to add sudo in front of MySQL if you are accessing MySQL from a non-privileged user account. So let's run the command MySQL_secure_installation, which will launch the configuration wizard in the terminal. If you already set a root password, enter it here. Otherwise, just press enter. We are going to press N for no when asked if we want to switch to a Unix socket authentication. It will ask you if you want to change the root password. You can do this if you haven't set a root password yet. Just make sure it's something that you remember. Next, it will ask if you want to remove the anonymous user. Press Y for yes. We also want to disallow root login remotely. Let's also remove the test database and access to it. For changes to go into effect, we need to reload the privileged tables. Alright, awesome! We now have a secured installation of MySQL running on our computer. Let's just make sure we can actually interact with MySQL to make sure everything is working as expected. Log in using MySQL-u root-p. You may need to add sudo in front of MySQL if you are accessing MySQL from a non-privileged user account. Enter your root password. If you see MariaDB or MySQL at the beginning of the command line, you are now logged into the MySQL service. Type quit, semicolon, or close out of the terminal to exit out of MySQL. Alright, so databases are pretty cool, but it kinda sucks working with them from the terminal. Let's install a GUI to interact with MySQL moving forward. We're going to do this with SQL Ace. Install it by running the following command in your terminal. Brew install --cask SQL-ace. Once installed, check the Launchpad and open SQL Ace. We're going to log in via TCP/IP. In host, fill in localhost. In username, type root. Enter your root password and leave everything else default or blank. Then click Connect. Near the top, click on the select field that says Choose Database. Clicking on this will reveal existing databases as well as the option to create a new one in the future. Alright, home stretch, almost there. We've covered setting up PHP and MySQL. Let's move on to setting up our code editor so we can work with PHP. Visual Studio Code is a powerful and lightweight code editor that is perfect for PHP development. It comes with built-in support for debugging, syntax highlighting, and code completion. It also has many more extensions you can add to meet all your coding needs. We will also use this code editor for other programming languages too. To get started, let's first download it by going to your favorite search engine and search for Visual Studio Code. Since I'm using a Mac with an M2 chipset, I'm going to download the Mac Apple Silicon.zip file option. If you aren't using a Mac with an M1 or M2 chipset, download the Universal or Intel version. Once downloaded, double-click on the file to open it. Drag the Visual Studio icon into the Applications folder. Open Visual Studio Code from your Launchpad or by using the Spotlight. Cool. Let's type in a piece of test code to ensure PHP is working. Create a new folder for your web development files. I'm just going to create a quick test folder on my desktop temporarily, but ideally you would put your project in a more permanent location. Create a new file called index.php inside of the test folder, and add the following code to it. Save the file. Press F5 or go to the Run menu and select Start Debugging. Most likely, no extension will be found since we just installed VS Code. That's fine. Let's just add an extension. I suggest the first recommended option by DevSense. Let's close out of the extension marketplace and start debugging once again. We should now be given a few options. We're going to launch the built-in server and debug. We didn't install a debugger yet, so you will get a warning. That's fine. We only need the PHP test server running right now. The browser should automatically open with the address localhost:8000. You should see the message Hello World displayed in the browser. If you see the PHP wrapper text, something went wrong. The only thing we should see on the page is what we have in quotations, which in our case is Hello World. And that's it! You now have a local web server with PHP and MySQL running on your Mac. You are now ready to continue on to your coding journey. I'll see you in the next one. Remember, keep coding and stay positive.